Okay, joined now by Tulane head coach Jay Ulhman. Coach, congratulations on advancing, getting the day off. Just get your opening thoughts on the game, and then we'll take questions from the group here.
Yeah, I thought it was a complete effort by our guys, particularly after, all conference guy goes out there and has a tough time getting us through 2 innings. But the bottom line is he got out of there with the lead, and then we passed the ball to Chandler, who was magnificent tonight. He pitched and made it very difficult. And I tip my hat to their guy too. I thought Ayers pitched extremely well too. So the bullpen game, which I don't think is in college baseball, hasn't been a huge strength of a lot of programs out there. If you look around the country, it ended up being a bullpen game tonight. And the way the wind was blowing early, runs were going to come in bunches and have the opportunity to be a big score. And then all of a sudden it shifted the other way, which kind of loosens you up to be able to pitch a little more free and use the ballpark and the wind to your advantage. So we're able to extend the lead multiple occasions, which ended up being huge. And just really proud of the effort that the guys had in finishing off in a pretty much a downpour.
Okay, we'll go to questions from the group here. I'll start with Gary, please.
Hi, Jay.
Hi, Gary.
Gavin Schulz had really been struggling at the plate recently, and he came up huge for you tonight. He got on every single time, had the 3-run home run. How much did you need that type of contribution from a guy that you might not have expected it from today?
Well, I appreciate that. I do expect a lot from him in a lot of different ways. So I think he probably leads the league in line outs or hard outs or tough luck, and so while the batting average isn't reflective of really the contributions that he's made, I remember him having a really good tournament here last year, as did T.O. And so we've got some guys that have warm and fuzzy feelings about this place. And, it was 0-0, batting averages were 0. And I thought he did a really nice job in his first at bat when he homered to right center. That's where the money was today for a good amount of innings. And he just had good body position and stayed over the plate and drove the ball with backspin in the air to right field. And it went, I think we had maybe 4 homers in the inning or 3 homers and 8 runs. So just really proud of that. And for me, the hits were big, but the last play on Murray's smash backhand, make the play was cool. Although he gave me a heart attack by not throwing it 2 feet to his left and going across the field. Fundamentally is always a better play, but the emotion of making the play and those kind of things was big. So our guys believe and he believes, and that's why I just continue to run him out there, because he's always going to give us the best effort.
You touched on Chandler, but he gave up his only walk and then had a at bat where the guy fouled off 6 straight pitches, and he just kept throwing it in the zone and struck him out. How huge was that out for him and just his performance overall tonight?
Yeah, it's as usual, you're on point and have good savvy. That was a really critical part of his outing, because I don't think we've run him into that pitch count. He hasn't gotten into that pitch count very much as of late. And so for him to, pull his bootstraps up and have a gut check and want that opportunity and continue to pitch instead of, one of the bugaboos for him is trying to do more, trying to make the pitch more special instead of just understanding like, no, my stuff's good and that's a good pitch. I'm just going to continue to do what I do. And I thought this outing and the last one were big steps for him. But tonight he was spectacular for us.
And passing the baton has been a problem all year long. And it wasn't just him. Gavin came in and got the one huge out you needed. And then you got what you needed from Michael Fowler in the ninth. Just how different was that from what you've seen for most of the year?
It's in there, and that's the thing. It's they have to believe and they have to want that spot. And, tonight they wanted that spot. They were motivated and disciplined. And Gavin he's pitched through some tiredness and so forth, but I thought the ball was coming out crisp for him. We considered running him back out there, but we just turned the ball over to the next guy when, Tia was able to get the hit and then Houston didn't see Fowler last time he didn't pitch. So that was a big advantage for us too. And like I told him at the end of the game, I spent 10 years playing in downpours and that's not easy. And I was fighting for our guys in the last inning about the mound and I didn't want that to be an issue. And not because I didn't think Michael Fowler could pitch through that, but because for me, it was an equity issue. You know, the guy slipped and fell on the last pitch, and the grounds crew here is spectacular. They're professional and really good at what they do. And I apologize to the guy after. Shame on me for telling him how to do his job. And he's really good. They're really good. And Michael went out there and was really good too. So that was an excellent effort by our bullpen for sure.
We talked before the tournament, you had to win this game to give yourself a shot. Now you get a day off and you have your ace going on Thursday. Just how much of a kind of a relief is it to get through this game after the second inning?
It's a big one. You know, it's win and get a day off. That's a big thing for your pitching staff, especially when, like you mentioned, it hasn't been real clean the whole year, and at times there's been glimpses, but for us to be able to have this confidence, get this win, give that bullpen, those guys that threw again, a rest and be able to spin it again is big, you know. And we had Carmouche out there in the pen warming up if we had to use him for a hitter or two as well. So we were going to go for it and get us into the winner's bracket, you know. So you know, just again, a really good effort. I'm proud of their effort, and you know, they're not done. You know, I challenged them and asked them if they were happy with one win and if they wanted to go home with their participation trophy, and they said no. So I'm going to hold them to that, and we'll get back to work again tomorrow on a practice day, and you know, and feel good about where we're at, and then be ready to get back after it again tomorrow and Thursday as well.
Okay, go to Ed Daniels with the next, please. Oh, Ed, I think you need to unmute if you would.
I'm sorry. Got ahead of myself, Coach. I apologize.
Okay, Ed.
For much of the season, you've been unable to win these games where you had a lead and you couldn't hold it. Were you thinking about that at all tonight?
I absolutely was not, to be honest with you. And you're right. I think we're 1-9 in 1-run games. And I think we're maybe just a tick better than that in 2-run games. We haven't played a lot of 2-run games, actually. So, you know, at this point, you just got to let go of the wheel and let them steer it, you know, and my job is to be over there and encourage them and challenge them and tell them when they're doing good and kick them in the butt when they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So again, just letting go of the wheel and let them navigate their own path. And but yeah, no, I just felt I liked where they were at, so it didn't concern me, to be honest. And the way the wind was blowing straight in, you know, the last guy scared me because he's left-handed, and I actually told our outfield coach and positioner of the outfielders, be careful of the slice here on this guy, because that ball gets up in the wind. The way the wind was blowing, the left-hander had a chance. I wasn't thinking, you know, that it was going to get to the wall per se, but I was just thinking like maybe the ball's going to head that way, so let's guard against that. But I'd almost, thank goodness it was short. But yeah, no, I thought we were in a good place, and I thought the ballpark was playing favorably to the defense and the pitching as the game went on.
When you look back at the year's been so difficult, to be able to win this game tonight, how significant is it, do you think, Jack?
Well, just you're fighting for your lives. It's, you know, surviving day off and surviving advance, and anything can happen. You know, you saw today South Florida beat East Carolina in a slobber knocker, using an old term. You know, so again, stranger things have happened in these tournaments. It's a fresh season. Maybe some other people have some more pressure than we do. I don't know. I don't look at it that way. I think every game, an opportunity presents its own set of challenges. So we're just going to get out there, and we're going to play for each pitch, whether it's good or bad. And if it goes good, it's next pitch. If we play bad, it's next pitch. And hopefully they're really believing in that and are really trying to do that, because to me, that's the best way to do it.
And I know Gary touched on it, but the significance of having an off day in something like this, how critical is that?
It's huge. You know, to be able to know that you're going to be able to go back and work on some things. You got an extra day of, you know, kind of rest and scouting, and, you know, you got to watch somebody else use their bullpen, you know, and that's the name of the game. And this is pitching and defense. And if you can do those two things better than the other team in a game, you're going to have a better chance to win. But, you know, that was certainly of concern tonight with the way the park was playing early. But days off are huge. You know, some people don't like them because they think it stops your momentum. I disagree. I think, you know, momentum's only as good as the next pitch of the next game.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank you,
Gary,
Coach.
thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Right. Bring a couple student athletes in as well here. Just stand by. Okay, joined by Chandler Welch. We just fire away with questions. Raise your hand if you have one.
No, I don't have any questions. I'm all good.
Gary, go ahead.
Yeah. Chandler, 5 innings. You didn't allow a guy past first base until the 8th inning. And just how good did you feel out there? Because you look pretty dominant.
I mean, I'd say it felt pretty good. I think it kind of, as the inning started to roll on, there was a little bit more of that chip on my shoulder, which kind of provides a little bit of energy to me. So, and then plus the defense is making plays, the offense is competing. So, you know, I thought it was one of the more team games that we could have played. You know, we had the offense rolling early, and, you know, because of that, it gives you a little bit of confidence boost. And leading on to the innings started to feel really good, and it just kept going and wanted to throw everything I had.
You had one huge out. You walked, the only guy you walked, the next guy fouled off 6 straight 2-strike pitches, and you kept going back to the well, and you finally struck him out. And you were pretty pumped up after that pitch too. How big was that?
Yeah, I mean, pretty pumped up. It's good to, you know, to show that, you know, sometimes when you compete a little bit and you get going and you start getting that feel for each pitch. And, you know, kudos to the hitter for making me kind of work. I was getting a little frustrated. But, you know, it's one of those times where you have to just dig deep. And I thought I did a pretty good job of that. And I knew that, you know, Jay had mentioned how sometimes I get in the habit of trying to do too much. And that was one of those moments where you have to really take a deep breath and just be yourself. And you don't have to create the pitch. You have to just trust it.
Right. Thank you, Chandler. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Right.
Appreciate it.
Go ahead. Bring the next. Yeah. All right. Joined now by Gavin Schulz. Gary, the floor is yours.
Yeah. Gavin, you hadn't been getting anything to fall down the stretch of the season, and tonight you came out. 3-run home run, your first at bat, 3 for 3, get on base every time. Just what do you feel like? What changed for you tonight?
Well, you know, we've been through a lot this season. My coaches, my teammates, myself, we've all been through a lot. And, you know, the crazy thing about baseball is everything you want is still in front of you. So, I mean, I feel like that adds another chip on your shoulder, people not believing in us. You know, something snaps inside of you to make it, you want it that much more. And, you know, you can either fold or you can keep showing up every day with a chip on your shoulder, ready to play. And it's baseball is a game of averages. It's going to turn around eventually. So just got to keep showing up every day with a good attitude.
You guys had to win this game to give yourself a chance. How much do you feel like you can take this going forward, the way you were able to get out on them and hold on to the lead the whole way?
You know, we're very confident within ourselves. We know we have the talent. You know, we just have to show it. We have to show up this next game. You know, whether you know, this game's behind us, this Houston's game's behind us. We have to win the next one. Thank you all.